you ever get to meet Static Major?
Oh yeah, I worked with Static. Yeah.
Legend.
I worked with Static through my boy Native. Native introduced me to Static.
Hard.
I was doing beats for Native, and Native is a legendary Louisville artist too, but he's about to come out with some new shit. But I was doing a bunch of shit with Native, and one day he was like, "Yo, Static wants you to come to the studio."
That's tough.
And I was like, "What?" So I had never knew how to track out beats on Pro Tools. This is back when Pro Tools was a new thing. I didn't know how he was like. Static was like, "Yo, bring the stems to the beat," and I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about, bro."
Stems?
That's back when I would record the beat and thought that's all you had to do. Recording a 2-track, I thought that's the mix. Like, what are you talking about? And so he's like, "No, bro, you got to bring the track outs to the beat." I was like, "Man, I don't know what he's talking about." So I remember sitting in the studio. The session was at like 10 in the morning. I remember sitting in the studio at like maybe 7 p.m. that night before, and and up until like 6 a.m. Because you got to think, this is like 2000, 2001. There are no manuals. Like, we not reading manuals. I sat there and I was just literally plugging shit in and out, hitting buttons, trying shit.
Yeah.
And you got to think, there's no internet. Nothing to reference off of. I'm just hoping some weird thing works. When I say I don't know what I'm doing, I literally mean, I'm like, I don't know where this chord goes, but I guess I'll just stick it here. And then I guess I'll put this one over here. Let me turn this. This seems like it makes sense. And for all night. And then like by like 5 a.m., it worked. I was like, oh shit. So I tracked out the beat and I rushed down to the studio, and only to get there and be like, yeah, well, you ain't gonna be able to come in this one. I was like, shit. You know what I'm saying? But
cooked up all that magic.
But I learned a lot, and from there I got to meet Static. I was in the studio with him a bunch. So yeah, Static Major was a huge inspiration. He was one of the first guys that I looked up to that he was like, "Yo, man, your shit is dope."
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn,
Static." That's one of those names.
Yeah, I was like, Static Major told me that shit was fire.
He said, "Yo, Static was like, yo, shit's fire."
Yeah, he was like, "You need to come to the studio." I was like, "Bet."
That's tough, bro. I don't think people realize I had to bring his name up because, like, bro, he's legend. We talking about writing.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Like, people don't realize how much Louisville DNA is in the music business. From Static.
Yeah.
You know, Static wrote for Aaliyah. How many people do you think Aaliyah's inspired?
Aaliyah,
right?
Bro.
So, and he wrote the big records. He wrote Pony. He wrote Rock the Boat. He wrote all these huge records. So that's Louisville writing. That's Louisville environment. That's Louisville whatever. So then you fast forward to like KY Engineering. KY is one who mixed like Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmares. He did.
I didn't know that.
He did a lot of Lil Wayne Carter albums. He's 2 Chainz. He mixes all 2 Chainz. All the Larry June 2 Chainz album. He just mixed that whole thing. Yeah. So Waka Flocka, Hard in the Paint. That song sonically changed the landscape of hip hop.
That was a record.
Yeah, that was KY's mix. So you gotta think that's his mix, and he didn't mix it to he mixed it what he felt was right. So that sound